The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Hello, I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group. We want to welcome you to Winning in Retirement. With me today is Jeff Akers, Vice President, Certified Financial Planner Practitioner, and my cousin and a person I've worked with for more than 20 years. So how are you doing today, Jeff?
Well, after that introduction, I'm not as sure, but I was doing great. So
yeah,
working with you for 20 years.
Don't yell at me. Let's keep it easy listening.
Easy listening. It's been, when you said it's been over 20 years, man, that just brings back memories.
Yeah, before we have a show like this, we get together, we talk, we think about things. This week, I hope you enjoy what we put together. We think it's pretty good. But let me tell you a little bit about our thoughts for today. We do welcome you to Winning in Retirement. The show is about how to win in retirement. If you're younger and you're trying to get ready, this is a great thing to listen to what you got to do to get there. And then if you're winning in retirement, how to keep winning, make that retirement last a lifetime. The show today is this. We've been thinking about what to do. And it started out like this. It's summer, and what do we do with our kids as they're growing up? Of course, Jeff and I, our kids have grown up, so we can't do this anymore. But what we do is about April, May every year, we try to find camps to send the kids to.
Yep.
Now, these camps are designed to maybe occupy at a time.
Maybe.
Or maybe to develop them in a way that you'd like them to grow further.
Teach them something.
That would be really nice, right?
Yes.
It's really for kids to develop, I think. And so what we wanted to do today is that on Winning in Retirement is to welcome you to Retirement Summer Camp.
All right.
Yeah, so today's show is Retirement Summer Camp. We're going to talk about the basics. We're going to have a little bit of fun on some things. There won't be any marshmallows unless you bring them out for yourself.
Marshmallows aren't made for radio, so.
Not made for radio. But the idea is this. We send the kids away, and the reason they go away is they learn, keep active, keep out of trouble. What other reasons do you think of, Jeff?
Well, I like the learning and the keeping out of trouble. Boy, you're kind of taking all the good stuff there. But you want them to be safe while they're there, of course, and you want them to pick up some good habits while they're there, learn some good things, and socialize with other kids that are doing the same thing.
All right, so we're starting the show where we're sort of on the outside talking about it, and now we're going to actually welcome everyone to our show that we designed. Now, this show, just like every other Winning in Retirement show, we take a lot of time to put things together. We designed a show that's something that you just got to listen to, a show that you need to pay attention to the words we say, the way we're trying to explain it, so you can apply it to your own financial life. Our show is designed almost like a basketball game. We do have 4 quarters. Yep. We take timeouts. They're not TV timeouts, but they are timeouts. That helps Jeff to rest for the next one.
Catch my breath.
Yeah, that's a good thing. But there in the 4 quarters, we try to cover many different topics, and sometimes we're real quick with them. Sometimes we build it up a little slowly. But what happens is that we get together and we come up with some ideas. And today's idea is welcome to Retirement Summer Camp. So we're going to start out with this. And welcome, campers. Jeff, one of our counselors, he's going to come up here, and the first thing I'd like to ask you to do is you go ahead and welcome the campers and give them your pep talk.
All right, my opening pep talk. So campers, welcome. I'm glad you're here. This is going to be a great time. We're going to learn a lot of good stuff. The first thing that I want you to get out of your bag there is your debt repellent. We need to get rid of debt that's surrounding us and stinging us and just messing us up. We need to get rid of it. And then we need to keep it away. So the debt repellent is going to be critical.
You're starting at debt repellent the first moment they sit down for camp?
It was just the slickest thing I could think of.
All right. So for those that have nightmares of a counselor talking like Jeff, I'm sorry about that. But the idea is that imagine you're going to a retirement summer camp. You're sitting in the room, and the counselors come up top there. We're going to begin camp. Jeff's going to be the fiery one, it sounds like. He's going to be talking about debt repellent. And then I'll come up with my clipboard since I'm sort of in charge of the day-to-day's activities.
Sounds like you're the scary one because you got the clipboard going down and saying, okay, this one, John, not too good. Jack, he's okay.
No, we got to register. You got to put your name tags on. You got all that fun stuff you got to do to start. But what happens at Retirement Summer Camp is we really have to begin with where you are. Now, Akers Financial Group, we call that your unique financial fingerprint. So imagine you have a clipboard and you're trying to write down where you are in your financial life.
Right. So we're looking at, well, we mentioned debt, and debt is an issue that we need to take a look at. That's part of your financial situation. We also want to take a look at what kind of savings you have. Do you have your savings tote bag that you're carrying around with you? When you go foraging outside, collect those nice pretty rocks and things that you're going to use later in life.
You talk about when you brought your blankie and teddy bear to camp?
That's later. The family protection sleeping bag. That's later.
You've really gotten crazy about this one, haven't you?
Yeah, I even wrote them down.
Oh, no. All right, so we do have a lot to go through today, but the idea is if you went to a retirement summer camp and you're there and you're thinking about what's going on, what you're trying to do in that 1 week is to examine where you are. You want to establish some goals, put things down that you can act on the second you come back, right?
Right. If you learn something at camp, but then go home and forget all about it, then camp didn't do you a lot of good. So we want you to remember it, write it down, and then take it with you.
If you're driving, have somebody else write it down.
Yes.
If you're not driving, you can write it down. You can put notes on your phone, whatever you got to do. There are going to be some topics we cover are things that you really got to do now, things that you got to make sure are straight, make sure you're heading in the right direction.
Right. So if you're driving, tell Siri to write it down for you.
Oh, that's hard.
She'll take care of it.
Siri actually writes down for you?
Well, on your phone.
I have to talk very slow. Well, let's get going here. So what happens is this. We've talked about building your unique financial fingerprint, which is really just gathering all your information. So imagine that when you're prepared for camp, you take a lot of things that you need. Retirement planning is the same type of thing where you put everything together that you're going to need in retirement. You think about what goals you want to do, when you want to do it. You need to have a design on how you're going to pay for it, how you're going to spend it, where you're going to live. All of those are all parts of a good retirement plan. And so in retirement summer camp, we're preparing for that future day. Right.
In retirement summer camp, we're helping you develop that plan, get ready for retirement, because ultimately, we want you to be in retirement, enjoying life, and not worrying a lot about a bunch of things. So that piece is important.
Yeah. So you sent your kids to camp before in the past?
I have. Yeah.
Now, are they very prepared when you send them to camp, or are they underprepared? How do you send your kids?
So I sent the kids to camp, the first overnight camp. My oldest, the first time he went, he got homesick.
Yeah.
And he actually called. And so I had to talk to him for a little bit, and he was like, okay. And he was fine for the rest of the week after that. So sometimes it can be a little scary just getting started with it. But once you get into it, it can be really exciting. And then the next year he wanted to go back. He was ready and raring to go. And my younger one was like, why can't I go? Because you're not old enough.
Yeah.
And so he was all excited to be ready to go when the time came.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and our goal of sending kids to summer camp as our kids are younger was to develop them and to learn some things, occupy them, and really keep them busy and have an enjoyable time.
Right, and get to do things that they don't get to do every day in ordinary life.
And I think we just talked about what we want retirement to be like, isn't it?
Man, you're really good at this.
So when you think about retirement, you want to do things you haven't been able to do.
That's right.
You want to be able to enjoy each and every day. You want to be able to have that afternoon at the pool, at the lake. You want to try archery, try new sports, do hikes, walks, things like that. But you do have to be prepared for it all. Now, sometimes the parents, as you get ready to prepare, you have a list and you write it all out. And guess what? In financial planning, we do have lists. In financial planning, we have a website, Akers, A-K-E-R-S, financial.com, AkersFinancialGroup.com. Sorry, I have to add that group on there. AkersFinancialGroup.com. You go there, under the tab says documents. We have our list there. We have the information to put together your unique financial fingerprint and our list of items to have in your bag when you come to the meeting.
Yeah, our document checklist. So if you're wondering what to have in your backpack to bring to camp, just look at that checklist. All the things that you're going to need are listed there.
All right, so we're not threatening you with our meetings or camp. We don't want you to think you're going to have to do that. We'll make that more financial. The camp is just our hour today, right? Our retirement summer camp's going to be right now. But when we go into financial advice, financial planning, there's been a bunch of the radio listeners coming in recently, and we've been talking about where they are in their financial planning. We have some brilliant people we met with, and they have done a good job of preparing. But just like any summer camp, the kid forgets something.
Oh, yeah.
They forget something going on. One of the things that people forget is to print out their whole statement. They look at their screen on the 401k and they print it off. And then we say, okay, how much is Roth? How much is pre-tax? How much is employer match? What is your match? What are your investment options? And they're like,
Right.
And so that's where we begin by actually in our meetings, we have the ability to log on into your website for your 401k, go deep into there, get the information so we can actually come back with some advice on what you should do in your plan.
Right. And rest assured, when we meet you to develop that financial fingerprint, we'll meet you inside where it's air conditioned. We're not sitting outside under a tree trying to swat the bugs away or anything. We're inside in a comfortable office.
I don't mind. Like I had one incredible meeting at this client's house on a farm over watching sunset. That was a review. And so I knew where they lived. And so one of the schedules we had, we do a review with our clients after we do the planning year and get things going. We review at least once a year, twice a year, and we spend time together. But I had this client, I said, I want to meet at your house because I want to see the sunset as we talk. And they're like, oh, that sounds great, Brian. Why don't you come on up? That was a very cool thing. I took pictures of it. It was a really nice retirement sunset.
Don't worry, Brian will get your permission before he takes pictures of you in his review meetings.
It was a picture of myself. It was a little weird.
Was it a selfie? Okay.
They didn't want a photo.
They'll still ask permission.
The client didn't want a photo with that. That was too funny. All right, so we're talking retirement summer camp. We're talking about ideas and a way of thinking about preparing. What's going to motivate you to do the right thing in your own financial planning? Is it going to be something fun and silly? Is it going to be something that goes wrong that then finally makes you make the change? What is it going to be? My answer is you have to make the change. You need to do your own planning because no one else will. No one else is going to do the planning you need. A financial advisor is someone to be beside you to help you along the way.
Right, help you on that process, but no one will care about your retirement more than you do. So you need to be involved and get the help that you need to make it that great retirement that you want it to be.
Absolutely. So we've had our welcome to the campers, and we're getting ready and warmed up for that second quarter. What happens at Akers Financial Group, we want everyone to know that we're local, independent, and we don't report to a big company on Wall Street. We don't report to a big company in Iowa. We have offices in Lutherville and Farstill. We meet with clients all around Maryland and all around the country. And we do have a couple clients outside the United States, but we work with people based on wherever they may be, and we develop a way to work on their financial planning, then implementing that financial planning. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. All you got to do is call for a free consultation with one of our team of advisors by calling 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person or Zoom meeting. Go to AkersFinancialGroup.com or give us a call at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. Why do the best professional golfers have a swing coach? We'll talk about that in 2 minutes.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Hello, welcome back. I'm Brian Akers, and here with me today is Jeff Akers from Akers Financial Group. We're both certified financial planner practitioners, and we work with our clients throughout Maryland, throughout the United States. We have clients a little bit around the world, a little bit everywhere. Now, Jeff, you've been 22 years in financial services?
22 years working with you, yes.
Yeah.
And you've been at it since the early 90s, so almost 30, how many years?
I started 87. I get a couple partial credits for being an intern, right?
So 35 years.
It's cranking up there.
Man.
It's like when a client comes in to retire and they say, oh, I got 30 years, it's time to go. I'm like, I'm just getting started.
Yeah. So if you were born when Brian started in this, then retirement summer camp is for you.
Well, the show that we developed today is for everyone. And we think you ought to pay attention and take the ideas and understand what we're trying to talk about so you can be ready for your own retirement. So the idea today is this. We put together the concept. We send our kids to summer camp. Reason is for them to develop and to grow into different aspects of their life. Also to make sure that they have a good time. Sometimes we send them off to camp to fill up those days instead of them hanging out at the house doing nothing or whatever else you might want to say they're doing. All right, so retirement summer camp. So imagine that you go to summer camp and it's for learning about retirement, developing your retirement plan, getting yourself going. It's basically like a little boot camp, a little concept of getting things ready and preparing yourself for the future. Now, when I was thinking about that, I thought about the concept of, some clients or some people come in are do-it-yourselfers, and they do everything themselves, and they're real leery of having anybody help. And then I think about my higher net worth clients and how they came in with a different mindset.
Yep.
And the mindset has to do with this question I asked, which is, why do the best professional golfers have a swing coach?
Yeah, so a golfer, no matter how good you are, when you're swinging, you're not looking at yourself. You can't see what you're doing, how the stroke looks. And so you've got the golf coach to tell you those things that you're not noticing about your own swing and to help it get straight. So the best golfers making tons of money on tour, they've got a swing coach.
Absolutely. There's someone working with them before they go out that morning.
Yep, every day.
And what you'll find is that it's no matter what age they are also, because they're trying to refine to perfection what they're doing.
Right. And well, that's the golf analogy. It also applies in basketball when you've got a shot coach, somebody that watches you shoot. Yeah. And you've even got an acronym for this.
I think it's funny when you say that.
An acronym?
Well, an acronym.
Acronym, yeah. No, that's for us.
No, it's funny that a basketball coach, when you're trying to teach kids about basketball, there's some fun things you do. One is called beef. Beef is about how you shoot the basketball. It's balance. You got your elbow under the ball, your eyes on the target, and the follow through. And trying to teach kids the basics of that is a key to developing a good shot. The sad part is many kids, when they're not strong enough, they'll develop bad shots. And the weird thing is when you have an 8th or 9th grader show up with their little kid shot, and you got to change it into a real shot.
Big boy shot.
You got to start back all over with about balance, of getting the fundamentals right, the foundation right, all the way up in and through their shot. So the coaching of it is something where you'll see the NBA players, they do a full warm-up of their shot before the game. One of the coolest things I've ever seen was Dirk Nowitzki with his coach from Germany. I actually saw him preparing Dirk for a basketball game for about 40 minutes. They had a whole routine of shots they'd take, moves they'd take, and the coach was there pointing out, making sure he was consistent. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really glad that you explained beef to me because I was thinking maybe that was about the hamburger that was coming up for lunch.
No, it's not Where's the Beef. I know you like talking about food. Where's the Beef was an older commercial. Sometimes in basketball we say, where's the beef? Imagine in financial planning, you come in and you believe you have everything right. Now, there's been, I think, almost 0 appointments in my career where somebody walks in with everything perfectly in place and we say the words, you don't need us.
Right. It's just like the golfer with the swing coach, the basketball player with his shot. There's always something just a little bit off that you don't notice when you're the one taking the shot or taking the swing.
Imagine if you have a coach that's been helping people retire 40, 50 plus hours a week for 20 to 30 years, they're going to know the ins and outs of how to make it happen, what works, what doesn't work, how to basically shortcut the destination of retirement to help you get there without making the mistakes that many people do. People come in, and a lot of them are making the mistakes, and we know what they're trying to do. Right. And we have to try to teach them why it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I'll give just one example. When you get to age 72, you have to take money out of your retirement plans, and folks come in, and that's a point where they recognize, oh, wait a minute, I'm at the end of my knowledge. I don't know what to do about this, how I should do it. How can I do this and not pay taxes? That's usually what they're looking for.
But you can't do that.
You can't. You can't do it and not pay taxes. So we have to help them navigate. Here's the best way to manage your required distributions. That's just one simple example that comes up.
Right. So what happens is this. Let me just go through a little basic spiel. Financial planning. This is what you got to look at. You need to examine your balance sheet. That's your assets and your liability. Where is your debt? Where is your assets? Where are they? Where are the statements? Do you know where all the money is? That's not an easy answer for everyone. Some people are like, oh, yeah, I used to work over there. And they keep bringing in statements, which is not a bad thing, but it's also the understanding that financial planning, gathering the information together, take an overall look, extremely important. Do you even know your cash flow? Like if we said, can you save money each month? And you say, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, sure, I can save. And then once in a while, there's someone that says, I'll save $1,100 a week, or they'll say I can save $1,100 every 2 weeks, or even higher. It's pretty amazing what some people that are very prepared for that question can handle. And then taxes. A lot of people are like, oh, why do you need taxes for? What's one of the reasons, Jeff?
Well, taxes, we can tell a lot about what kind of income there is, and are there some things we can do, like where are you in a tax bracket? And maybe we could do a Roth conversion or something like that and stay in that bracket. So,
yeah, then there's the idea of estate planning. More than half the clients that come in the first meeting do not have wills. And that doesn't mean the people that have dangerous jobs have wills. I found the ones with dangerous jobs don't have wills at all. And they have it given to them for free.
Yeah.
And so in financial planning and in that first year of getting the plan up and running, getting the foundations, doing the foundation and the buildup of the financial plan, taking you from unique financial fingerprint to an implemented financial plan is our job throughout that first year of working together.
Right. Having an estate plan together that will, I actually think 50% might be a low number for the ones.
Us being nice.
Yeah. Might be more than that. But you might think, well, I don't have anything. What do I need a will for? Well, are you married? Do you have kids? There are things that you need to protect, and a will helps you do that.
And so our show, if you listen to our show on a regular basis, you'll know we have lots of different topics. We save all these shows on our website at akersfinancialgroup.com. We have lots of information. We try not to repeat ourselves too often. But when it comes to financial planning, you need to know what's going on. So when it comes to retirement summer camp and getting everything organized and right, you need to understand all these pieces. The final three pieces are these. Investment strategy. Do you actually have one? Or do you just sign up for your 401k when you're 21 and then you let it ride? Now you're in your mid-30s and you haven't looked at it since then.
Right. You just forgot about it and you don't know what they invested you in.
One of my long-term clients brought their 21-year-old son. He's getting out of college this year in to see us. His job that he's worked as an intern, they're converting to full-time. We go in and look at his 401k plan, and they threw him in a 20-65 target plan.
Yep.
18% allocation to bonds, 3% to money market.
And he's 21.
He's 20. 3% goes to money market.
In a 401k for a 21-year-old.
Why? I don't understand. But so the idea was we can do differently. You're not saving a lot of money. Let's just pick one or two funds. So we went on there. We looked at the beneficiaries. Well, didn't have any. So even though when you get the new enrollment package, they sort of self-enroll you, if you're married, that's fine because there's an assumed beneficiary being your spouse. Not married, it's nobody.
Yep. It might be your estate, might be something. But these plans that will automatically enroll you, they might start at 1% a year, and that's great. But maybe you get a higher match if you contribute 5%.
Yeah.
So you're leaving money on the table, you're being invested in things that you probably shouldn't be, and you don't have beneficiaries. So even if the plan automatically signs you up, be sure to go in. We need to look at it and figure out all these things.
So he's like an intern, working like 25, 30 hours, and he's just getting out of college. So his intern pay was half of what he might make when he graduates. Mm-hmm. They had him in pre-tax 401k savings, not Roth.
And Roth IRA, if you're not going to pay much tax anyway, take the Roth because then you never pay tax on that money again.
So the Roth option inside your 401k, that means if you take 8% out of your pay, 8% comes off your pay. If you do pre-tax, you take 8%, you might only see a 6% off your bring-home pay. So there's a net result. Not a big deal, especially when you're getting started. Crank that thing up. We love to see 10%, and then you have a match on top of that if you really want to kickstart that retirement plan. The other two aspects you got to look at, part of this retirement summer plan, retirement summer camp ideas is insurance strategy. Do you have one? Do you have the proper insurance need, life insurance need, disability, things like that? 21 years old, new hire at this company, same client I'm talking about. Oh, group benefits. Oh, I don't know if I signed up for anything. Oh, I didn't buy anything. Well, did you buy disability? That's the highest risk you have as a young person, is the ability where you might not be able to work. You don't really need life insurance because he doesn't really have any reason to, but he needs short and long-term disability, which is you get it automatically if you sign up on the way in, if you're healthy or not.
Yeah, just sign up for it.
You got to sign up for it.
Do.
And the last big part of our little series here is college plan. Do you have a plan for college for your kids? Have you told them how much you want to pay for or how much you're not paying for? And then you can begin your saving program. One of the clients this week, we talked about it, and their older kid we saved a lot for, but their younger kid sort of forgotten. We figured out that the younger kid needed double the savings to catch up from the first child.
Oh, wow. And if both of them are going to college, then, okay, you're in a bind a little bit with the second one.
Right. Well, if the first one doesn't, then you snowball the money or put your money back down to the lower one. That's not terrible.
Right. There are things we can do. That's why there's a planner.
Right. So we're covering a lot of things. This topic today was about having a coach, someone to guide you, teach you, help you to develop your retirement plan. And that's all part of this summer camp we've been talking about. We want you in retirement to have the best part of retirement, and that's where you're relaxed and you get your time back, where you decide how to use it, you get to enjoy and do the things you've always wanted to do, just like the afternoons of summer camp, right? A lot of that goes away, all the stress, all these things go away when you fully retire. The only way to be properly retired and to winning retirement is to go ahead to our website at akersfinancialgroup.com, scroll down to a schedule a meeting section, and let us know you'd like to schedule a free consultation with one of our team of advisors. That's akersfinancialgroup.com, or give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person or Zoom meeting. Go to akersfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. Do you spend more time planning your vacations than planning your retirement? We'll talk about that in 2 minutes in the second half of Winning in Retirement.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
I'm Brian Akers, and here with me today is Jeff Akers, and we welcome you back to Winning in Retirement. And today we also welcome you to Retirement Summer Camp. So I know you're probably thinking, what in the world's going on here? So I thought we'd explain what we're trying to accomplish with our thought process so you can try to think it through. But we welcome Jeff here into the second half. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm still doing great.
Did you have a good night's sleep here at camp?
I did. I did sleep well.
Okay. Did you eat the breakfast?
Yes, I did have breakfast this morning. I'm getting a little nervous about where you're going now.
What? When you went to camp as a kid, did you eat the food?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, the food at camp was good.
Oh, so you went to a high dollar camp then? No, I've been to a few different camps where I like help counsel and stuff, and there's one where the meat sort of graduated into the next meal every time you stay.
So eat it the first time around so you don't see it again.
Yeah, well, the hamburger became spaghetti, became something else, became taco meat by Friday or something like that.
Oh, man.
People have good thoughts of camp and bad thoughts of camp.
We're having a better camp than what you're describing there.
Yeah, so what we're thinking about is you think about all the kids that are going to summer camp, they're going to sports camp, they go to camp where they're learning different things, engineering camp, robotics camp, STEM camp. There's all kinds of things out there, volleyball camps, soccer, of course.
Right. Yeah, every sport, every activity. There's even a music and arts camp.
Yeah, and then churches run camps. There's youth camps, day camps, and overnight camps, which is all wonderful ways for your kids to be occupied, one thought,
right,
but also to learn and develop and grow. And that's why we take the concept of, well, as adults, shouldn't we go to retirement summer camp and learn about retirement, about that future, and really take a week of concentration and thinking about it?
Yeah, if you take a week and figure it all out, and that takes care of the next 30 years, 40 years. That's a pretty good trade-off there.
Right. We're not asking for a week. The show's only an hour long, and we got half of the show left to try to give information. We've been hitting a lot of different topics very quickly, so you can try to think things through for your own situation. You need to know your finances, and you need to have things such as a swing coach, a financial advisor, to help you go through some of the main topics that we covered in the second quarter. But here in the third quarter, the thing is this, is do you spend more time planning your vacations than planning your retirement? What's your thoughts on that, Jeff?
Wow. Well, vacations are so fun to think about.
I like the S after it, vacations.
Vacations, yeah, multiple vacations, and they're just fun to think about. So it's pretty common to plan those in great detail, but sometimes retirement, we think that's work to plan for that.
Or I'm not old enough to plan for retirement.
Right, I'm not old enough to worry about that. But when are you old enough to plan for that?
Well, the ones that start early do not have to save as much money.
Yep.
There are some very simple things you got to think about, and that is this. If you plan for your vacation, let's say you go away 1 week a year and you probably spend 40 hours planning, like almost a whole week planning for that 1 week.
Yep.
Imagine planning for a 20 to 30 year retirement, how much time you should spend.
Oh, man, that's a big number.
Now, in financial planning, how many meetings for a new client in the first year would you say is typical?
Typical is going to be in the 4, 5, 6. Depends on the situation, how detailed it is.
Right. So imagine that if they're in their 20s, it might take 2.
Right.
30s, 3, 40s, 4, 50s, 5, 66. That might be a good example.
I see what you're doing, yeah.
Because the more complex your life gets, the more we have to go back and retrofit or fix and redirect and then try to finish well or try to hurry up the retirement plan.
Yeah, the closer you are to having to use the plan,
the more money.
the more time.
Right, but also think about it that the earlier you start, the lower the planning fee.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it doesn't take as much. It's not as hard. Doesn't take as much time.
You point it in the right direction. It's almost like this. When you're going to summer camp, you take certain things. When you're at camp and they're going to go on a hike, you take certain things. Were you one of those prepared kids, Jeff, with maps and compasses and all that kind of stuff with you?
No.
No?
No, I followed the kid in front of me,
You followed a kid in front of you.
which is a problem since my last name was Akers. So
Yeah, you're usually in the front. I've always liked to be prepared. I always like to have all my stuff, all the things. So I hate being limited by how many bags you can have because I like to have everything. So I don't travel light. But imagine, I didn't go to many camps as a kid, but as I grew up, I became more of a counselor with more camps as an adult than I ever did as a kid.
you go as a counselor, not as a kid.
Yeah, it's fun. But I bring a lot of stuff when I'm doing the counseling. I got different change of clothes for different events, and I try to be ready.
You've got it all in there, huh?
Well,
Everything but the kitchen sink.
I want to be prepared. So imagine the idea of retirement. Let's be prepared. Let's make sure we got what we need. A map is a great idea to go on a trail. It's also a map or mapping out your retirement plan. A timeline, it should be one of the first things you do.
Yep, you want to be careful. And it's important to take some water with you if you're on a hike. And so you're going to need something to stay hydrated as you go.
Are you going to play that into retirement planning, though?
I was going to let you.
Oh, you left me hanging on that one. Oh, no.
Hey, you wrote it down.
Oh, you mean about the water part? Oh, let me think. Okay, so how does water parlay? Water is the source of life. Is water. You need water to live,
Okay.
and we need retirement planning to live in retirement.
Oh, yes.
And that's weak.
Well, in retirement, we do need our money, the money that we've been saving.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're now living on. We need that to survive. So
What you just said there is very hard for some retirees. It's where their whole life they made money on their sweat, what they created. So if you're the business owner and you've been doing all these things to build up and grow assets during your lifetime, it's hard to turn off in retirement. It's hard to then trust an investment that's going to provide the income you need. It's sort of like, oh, really? That's going to do what I've been doing working? So that's replacing me? That's sort of the thought. And that's hard that first year or two to in actual retirement to get used to all the checks coming in. Oh, it's going to come next month too? That's not a problem. And like when the market goes down, it's going to keep coming. Is that going to really happen? Understanding that's going to work is very important.
right, this might sound like psychobabble, but psychologically, it's a difficult transition for anyone to go into retirement just because for most of their life they've been accumulating,
Right.
saving, and now you get to retirement, now you're taking distributions, you're taking money out of that. And so your mind has to shift to, well, how do I do this the best? The way that you take money out is very different than the way you put money in. And so that can be scary. I don't know what I'm doing, how to take money out of this.
Right. When I think about that comment, I think about it's very important where you put it when you start. Like if you're deciding between pre-tax or after-tax in a Roth IRA, Roth 401k, Roth TSP, and any of those options, when you're thinking about a Roth, which if you're anything less than 55, I think you need to look at Roth as an option to put money to it. If you can put money there, pay tax now and never again, so that you have choices in retirement on money that's taxable versus tax-free, and you get to choose where you take your money and control some of your actual income tax.
And the beauty of that tax-free is it's not just what you put in that you can take out tax-free, it's all the growth over the years. So the younger you are, the more time that money has to grow and multiply itself, and then all of that is tax-free. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, so but going back to the summer camp idea, you think about the kids at camp. You have the quiet ones, the louder ones. You have the overachievers, the ones that want to be in charge all the time. Yeah. Then you have the kid that wants to run away. Right. And you have the kid that goes home after the first day, right?
Oh, you're giving me nightmares.
So you have all these different kind of kids. Imagine that's who comes in for financial planning. All those combination of people. They come in with all different thoughts, all different things that they are thinking about. And so how do you figure out the person and talk about their retirement plan?
Right. So we have a set of questions. Brian mentioned earlier, if you go to akersfinancialgroup.com, under documents, we've got a couple of important documents there. One is your financial fingerprint, and that's information that we're gathering. The other is a document checklist, and that's got all of the kinds of things that we're going to want to look at. So if someone comes in for that first appointment, they're aware of these forms, and they come in and everything is filled out, and they've got all the documents, and they're ready to talk and answer questions, then that's the camper that is ready to develop a plan and get ready to go towards retirement. There are other folks that come in and they're like, I didn't bring anything. I just want to talk for a minute. I've got one question. And so that's a little bit like your kid that wants to run away. Answer my question and I'm out of here kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then there's everything in between. So we just sit down, we ask questions, we let you tell us what it is that you want, and then we start putting together that financial fingerprint. And somewhere along the line, 9 times out of 10, folks hit a spot where like, oh, wait, I didn't know that. I need to know that. Mm-hmm. And so then we can develop that relationship further.
Yeah, I was thinking about one of the clients this week, very successful person, and husband and wife team, both are very successful in what they're doing. And they've been saving and growing their family. They have their house. Life's going at 100 miles an hour. And the thing is that they realize that, they're in their mid-30s, so they're realizing in their mid-30s that if they keep on this pace, they're not going to accomplish the best that they need to accomplish. And so they started by an evaluation of different advisors. They narrowed down the advisors, then they chose Akers Financial Group to come in and meet with us about their financial planning. So we're in meeting number 3, really going through what they've told us and about how they've accumulated all this cash and things that they have done. And we started a list of things that they haven't done.
Oh, wow.
And it was sort of overwhelming on all the different things that they know they should do, they just haven't done. That's almost like cleaning up the cabin, where you got to clean up after yourself. And you think about it, things such as, are all the beneficiaries right in all the accounts? Mm-hmm. The husband had a bank account without the wife on it. She wasn't even the beneficiary.
Oh, wow.
And he was saving like a lot of money there.
Yep.
Let's just say a nice single family rancher was that amount of money was sitting in cash, saved incredibly well after tax, but all in his name, no beneficiary.
So there's a couple of issues with that.
And then no will.
Right.
No will. So we had to explain what that means,
Right.
They just one after another, tax planning, where their investments inside the 401k was. They hadn't taken the time to examine options inside to see what their money's invested in or what options they have.
What are the most efficient things to do to accomplish your goals?
They thought they were maximizing their 401k, but they really weren't. They just were maximizing the match. So they thought the idea of maximizing was maximizing the amount they could put in. So they found out that the amount was $20,500 each.
Right, this year.
That they could put in. So they could save $41,000 pre-tax, if that was the best thing, tax planning, or if they wanted to try to start using some Roth in there.
Right. So all these little things that come up when you think we know where we are, but we need to get there.
Because in retirement, we want things handled. We want your biggest worry of every day to be where you're going to drink your morning cup of coffee, where every day seems like a Saturday, free of stress. Your retirement income and investment planning are all taken care of by the team of advisors at Akers Financial Group. You can go ahead and have that future you want. It's not too late. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. You meet with one of our team of advisors with that free meeting about you and your retirement, a little bit like summer camp, or it'll just be a summer meeting. You give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person or Zoom meeting. Go to AkersFinancialGroup.com or give us a call at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. Habits have long-term results. Are your habits good habits or bad habits? We will explain in the fourth quarter in just 2 minutes.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Just like the announcer welcomed you back, we do welcome you back. Of course, we welcome you to the Retirement Summer Camp that we've been covering today. Here with me today is Jeff Akers, Certified Financial Planner, Vice President of Akers Financial Group. We've been talking today about Retirement Summer Camp and comparing retirement planning to summer camp and all those things people are doing. Now, imagine that camps come to a close. It's the last day of camp. Everybody's a little sad. Some people can't wait to go home, but most people are sad. They're going to miss their friends. It's that morning of the last day of summer camp. It's the fourth quarter of Winning in Retirement. Everyone's sad the show's getting close to being over, but they know that it can come again next Saturday morning.
It'll come again next Saturday morning, and if you can't wait that long, you go to AkersFinancialGroup.com and click on the radio tab, and you can listen to us all week long.
Right. So we have our show on our website, so you can go back and listen to the past shows and hear different topics that might apply to you at that moment. All very important to do, and we have it on some podcasts, podcasting channels also. So the fourth quarter, it's always winning time in a game. The last day of camp is where the camp counselors are like, oh, you got to learn this is the last day. You got to make sure this works out. Make sure that when they go home, they're telling the parents that we did something this week, right? Oh, we didn't fool around the whole week long. We accomplished some things. So that's what we got to do here in the fourth quarter.
Right. You learn something good, a good habit.
Right. So the question for this fourth quarter is, habits have long-term results. Are your habits good habits or bad habits?
Wow. Now, if we think seriously about this question, then we're going to have some good habits and we're going to have some that are bad habits, but we need to figure out the difference between the two and what they are.
So if you have a piece of paper, you might put a line down the middle, and on one side you put good habits, and you list 3 things that come off your mind right away. Yep. And on the right or left, you put on bad habits and list 3, 10, 30, right, whatever you want to write down on there.
Yep. So a good habit that we've seen people come in with is when they're setting money aside regularly. They are saving money. You know, they're kind of using their savings tote bag and they keep filling it up and filling it up. And that's a good habit. And the good long-term result of that is financial independence eventually one day down the road when you get to retirement age.
So the habit you're mentioning is saving first.
Save first.
Save first for your future. That means before you receive your first paycheck or the next paycheck, you examine where the money's going and save some of that money. Now, we believe in tithing and giving to charity, churches, and that first, and then saving for your future, and then you'll spend the rest. One of the things that I've learned in my career is no matter whatever that paycheck number is, you're going to spend it all. Very few people can save off of what's left at the bottom. They have to purposely save first, purposely pay extra on debt, purposely put money aside, purposely give away to charity as money comes in so they can fulfill their plan, their goal. So if they write on that paper, good habits, I'm a saver, I'm a giver, I'm reducing my debt. Bad habits might be something like I keep raising my debt every month. I can't get out of this cycle where my minimum payment, I'm barely reaching that and I cannot pay it down. There's a lot of bad habits out there.
Right. That's the spend first and not saving anything, and you're actually spending more than what your total income is.
One quick way to know where you are, good habit, bad habit, is do you have any money saved in the bank at all?
Yeah. Do you have any money saved, and how much debt do you have on the other side of the ledger?
Right, but let's just start with a simple thing. Do you have anything saved in the bank? So when I see someone come in with nothing in the bank, I know a couple of things. One, They might be great retirement savers where they save everything to retirement and they don't have enough.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, when they have nothing in the bank, that means they have credit card debt. Because when you go to get new tires or the mechanic sort of knows your bank account amount when they tell you the bill, right?
The mechanic
it's like,
knows.
hey, I got $1,000 in the bank. What's your mechanic bill? Oh, $1,000. It just seems like that in life, right?
I've seen folks that have incredible incomes, tons of money coming in, and they are retirement savers. They're setting money aside to their 401k, TSP at work, and they're maximizing it, the true maximizing, but they don't have a lot of money in the bank.
That's because they consume what they bring home, and they find inventive ways to spend all the way up to all of it.
Right.
And that's a normal American habit. It's a normal way that where people are selling us all the time on things we can spend money, things to accomplish, things to make life better, things that make you look better. There's all kinds of sales out there trying to tell us how to spend their money.
Right. And then they come in and they say, can I retire? And we look at the cash flow, what we can tell about the cash flow. And generally in that situation, the answer is going to be no, because the spending is too high, because they are spending every dollar that comes in. Now, they might be able to, if you tell them, well, you're only going to have this income in retirement, they might be able to live on that, and that's fine, and that makes the plan work. But having some money in the bank that's ready for emergencies, so that when you have to get the tires, you're not using a credit card.
Right.
That's important, and it's especially important in retirement that you're not going into debt.
Yeah, I've heard that banks actually pay interest right now, so that's a good thing. Interest rates are moving.
Yeah, like doubled from 0.01 to 0.02.
100% increase.
There you go.
Amazing. All right, so joking aside, retirement summer camps are our topic, and we're applying that to financial planning. We want you to have things that you're writing this information down. Now, Jeff, you started out the show talking about debt repellent.
Yes.
And I thought you might want to mention that just for a second as we're talking about no cash, you have the debt.
Right. If you've got no cash and you've got debt, then we're going to need to work on our cash flow. We're going to have to cut back on our spending so that we can save a little bit and then use some to pay down the debt. And that debt, it's important that you not continue going further and further into debt. So Just put the credit cards away. They don't exist anymore, except to make payments on them.
It's a hard thing to do. It's not easy, but it's something you can do and can accomplish by writing where your money's going, writing it down. If the money's going out the door to people you know, you got to stop giving that money. What you got to do is examine where your money goes so you can make sure it's going to where you want it to go. So imagine that we want to have good habits. Imagine you're at camp and you want that kid in your cabin to have good habits, like brush their teeth, deodorant be nice, clean up the area a little bit.
Yeah. Your neighbors want you to have good habits so that you keep the house nice when you're retired because you've got the money to keep it up.
You want to be a good neighbor where your yard's mowed because the higher the grass, the more animals live inside.
And the more bugs.
Yeah, all kinds of things go on. So good habits in life are things that really help you long term. Financial good habits. Let's list some financial good habits that people could have, Jeff.
Consistent savings, just regular savings is one of the things that you've mentioned here. When you put money regularly into your 401k, TSP, whatever, we call that dollar cost averaging. You don't pay attention to where the market is. It's just, I've got the right funds, the right allocation, and I'm going to put the same amount of money in every week, every month, whatever the time schedule is, and not worry about market fluctuation along the way.
The other thing I think people should have as a habit is start a car fund, like a mutual fund where you put your car payment in, like $400, $500, or whatever amount you want into this mutual fund, and you just keep investing every month. And what happens is there are times in life you'll need a car, and then you go there and you take money out to pay for the car. You'd be amazed how after a few years you'll be able to pay cash for your cars down the road.
And like we said, debt repellent, no debt. That's a great way to stay out of debt, even for your car.
Some people need to examine that they are actually becoming retirement poor in that they've saved so much for retirement. They have no cash. They haven't fixed their house. They haven't done any of the basic things they need to do to actually be able to retire. So some of the things we do, if someone has enough for retirement, is we say, hey, slow down saving for retirement. You need to pay off your debt, build up your cash, pay off your mortgage. You need to fix up your house while you're working because there's some major repairs you've told us about.
Yep, and you might be saving that retirement rich. You've saved to a 401k or whatever pre-tax, and when you get into retirement, now you're going to have to take that money out and pay tax on it. So we might need to save to some other buckets so that when you need the car, you got the cash to do it.
Other good habits to do is you need to look at your benefits package at work, and are you taking advantage of everything that you need? Have you done the wills, the power of attorney, the healthcare power of attorney? Do you have those in place? You need to have those in place no matter what age you are.
Yep. Another good habit is coming in and getting together with your financial advisor and reviewing regularly. I know in the last quarter we talked about, in the first year we might meet 4, 5, 6 times. But even after that, at least once a year, just to review.
But why? Why do they need to come in every year?
But just getting that caught up on where things are. Things change over time. If we just look back at the last couple of years, things can change pretty quick. And so it's important to come in and just review and say, here's where we are now, and here's what we need to do going forward.
Yeah, so I actually wrote this prepared comment I wanted to read. So if we become like an historian of the stock markets, you can actually help you understand what we need to do. So one of the things about good habits is how you address things. So imagine a stock market that's going down. We can actually listen to a lot of noise and want to get out of the stock market in a downturn. If we are become an historian of stock markets of history, we'll realize that downturns are opportunities to save, opportunities to buy, to put a little bit more in. So understanding what's going on and having a good habit, such as addressing your investment philosophy properly and not emotionally, is a very good habit to have. The good habit is to be consistent and keep investing through the bad times, because that's when it's low, it's cheaper, you'll make your most money. It seems a lot more fun to buy at the highs because, it's going up every day, but you're actually paying extra for it. You're paying more than you should.
You're paying a premium. So that investment that you make when the market's down is actually better than the one that you made when the market was up.
Yeah, so today our show is called Retirement Summer Camp. And so you guys have all been retirement campers, and we thank you for coming out to camp.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Hey, good day. Yeah, see you next year type thing, right?
Next week.
Hey, get on the bus, or your parents are waiting outside, and don't forget to clean up your mess that you left. Hopefully you've learned a little bit about the basics that you need to do right now that'll benefit your entire life. These fundamentals are things that you need to think about and follow through on right now. And a financial advisor, having a professional help you with what you're doing, is extremely important to do. Understanding where your spending is, understanding what your habits are, so that you're doing the right things now to get this financial planning going. Any final thoughts, Jeff?
I just want to thank you for coming out to camp. It's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And no one's gotten in trouble, so no punishments.
That's right. We all get to go home.
And everybody shakes the hand and we move on, right?
That's right.
And then
nobody broke a leg or anything.
The counselors just collapse. So we covered a lot today. Check out our website, AkersFinancialGroup.com. You can find out more about Akers Financial Group. Also, you can begin the process of meeting with one of our team of advisors and having that free consultation. We want you to win in retirement. So take advantage of this opportunity to begin planning with us. To schedule that free meeting, go ahead to our website, AkersFinancialGroup.com. You scroll down to schedule a meeting section, and you let us know you'd like to schedule your free meeting. That's AkersFinancialGroup.com. Or you can give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE, 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person or Zoom meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning for your retirement now. Go to AkersFinancialGroup.com. Give us a call at 833-946-7384. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated and investment advisory services through Kalos Management Incorporated. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services. Advice given on Winning in Retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment.